very good evening and welcome to the Dome Theater in Disneyland for the men's 85-kilo championship of the world. I'm David Goldstrom, and alongside me, Randy Strossen of Iron Mind. This is an absolutely packed house, 1,500 seats, totally sold out, and the motivator, Benjamin Hennequin of France. The biggest and best hope for France to take a championship gold medal at the 2011 championships, the 5th time that France has hosted this particular competition. Well, inside the hall, the crowd have been getting them well up here with a variety of music, as we now get ready to introduce you to the competitors for this competition. Here is the start list. There are 11 competitors, I should say, 2 from Asia, 7 from Europe, 1 from Africa, 1 from the Caribbean, and we have the Olympic and the 2009-2010 world champions with us. In addition, the junior world champion for the current season and the Universiade champion. And now a opportunity to meet them individually. This is Kianush Rostami, junior world champion representing Iran from Kermanshah in the west of the country. Next, Gabriel Sinclayan from Romania, who was 7th last year in Antalya in the World Championships. The bronze medalist in the Junior Worlds last year was the Egyptian Ragab Abdel Hai Saeed. Every one of these 11 men are proven contenders. Next, it's Abti Akadov from Chechnya, the Junior World silver medalist this year. And now the French favorite from Bordeaux, the European bronze medalist this year, Benjamin Hennequin. Benjamin, 27 years of age. Representing Albania, Sully Ilian. He's the oldest of the class at 35. He got a Snatch silver medal back in the 2000 Worlds. The man who won this title, Lu Yong, he also won the Olympics. He won the world title in 2009, representing China. For the Ukraine, it's Yuri Chikida, 4th in the World Championships last year in Antalya, Turkey. Another champion, this is Rinat Kireev from Ufa in Russia. This season's university champion, won the title in Shenzhen. From the Caribbean, welcome to the Pan American Games champion. This is Yolmis Hernandez. And completing the list, Adrian Zielinski of Poland, the reigning and the defending world champion who won this title September a year ago on the stage. Well, here is the list of those who won this title, and there you see Andrei Rybakov. Rybakov, who is a shadow of his former self and actually competed in the B group today, produced a snatch of 178 kilos, which might be of interest in the race, at least for the Snatch gold medal. So keep an eye on that factor. It's just unfortunate that his preparation hasn't gone as well, and he can't lift the heavy clean and jerk weight. But still a danger in the Snatch. And here is the man, Andrei Rybakov, the world champion in 2007, the world record holder, and the man who tied with Lu Yong in the Olympic Games on exactly the same kilos, but because he was slightly heavier, didn't get the gold. He'd have rather had the gold than having the world record, but that's the way it worked out. This was his 3rd attempt at 170 kilos. Great lift. This is his speciality. His world record is 187 kilos, so that tells you that he's not in tip-top condition, but nonetheless, he is a threat. So one of the best atmospheres we've seen. It's going to be noisy all the way through. But do sit back with Randy Strossen and myself, David Goldstrom, for what we hope is going to be a really exciting evening.
First attempt, Joel
So once again, a very warm welcome to the 85 kilo championship of the world. Myself, David Goldstrom, together with Randy Strossen of Iron Mind. A very good evening to you, Randy. We've got a terrific field here. 11 all achievers. Should be terrific.
Absolutely, David. You know, this crowd's been fantastic all week, but now they've really got a reason to cheer. Their countrymen will be in the hunt for a medal. They hope in the clean and jerk.
Produced his best performance in the Europeans. There's only a 15 kilo spread on the entry totals right across. And the first man out representing Egypt from Alexandria, Ragab Abdel Haid Saeed, opening up on 155 kilos. And that just puts into context Rybakov, the 178 that he lifted in the B group.
You know, it also says something about the crowd, David, because here we are at a class for the world record in Snatch is 187, and they're cheering as if he's going after the world record at 155.
Well, as we all know, Randy, some are stronger in the first phase, the snatch, and others are better in the clean and jerk. But what this man will be doing is trying to build towards getting a 6 out of 6. Egypt, like all the countries at these World Championships, conscious of the fact that not only do they need to try to get to the medals, but at least get as many points, and they do that by getting the highest possible placing. The more good lifts you make, in principle, the more points you'll get for your country. Now, this is the Pan American Games champion. This is Yoamis Hernandez from Havana. Full-time athlete, married, one child. And whips the bar overhead. 155. Body weight rise, two heavy men in the class, Sully Iliran of Albania and Kiriev of Russia. But that was pretty good, Randy.
Oh, it was, absolutely. Smooth, nice, strong-looking lift, too.
And all of these men backstage have been warming up over the last 60 minutes. They weighed in a couple of hours ago. They're all very conscious of the talent in the warm-up room. And this is a night where coaches have got to be on their toes in terms of working out what their lifters go for.
Yeah.
I was going to say, with 15 kilos across the class, as you see Enekan just in the middle stages of his warm-up, they have to be alert.
You know, this point about Andre Rybakov in the B session, I'm not sure his total's going to hold up, but his snatch is definitely a threat, I think.
Yeah, and talking to Alexandra Kurlovich, known as Sasha, their former heavyweight star, is now the president of the situation. He just shakes his head and he said, it's just not gone well. The preparation hasn't gone well. We've had to do what we do, and what we do is to put him into the B group because we knew that his overall totals wouldn't hold up.
Didn't they have a tragic death of one of the two? They had two up-and-coming guys. One of them died tragically earlier this year.
Yeah, but that hasn't actually, it's nothing to do with Rybakov's preparation.
No, but I think they're already getting ready to fill his shoes. I think that's why they're testing waters with those other two guys that we've seen in the last couple of years. You know, the Albanian, we haven't seen him for a long time.
No, I'll tell you about him when we get to him. But this is Hernandez out for 160, which is a 5 kilo increase. He's, again, here's a perfect example of a man who needs to do his best here. 160, 162 is where they're thinking. Much better at the clean and jerk. 205 is 208 they're looking for tonight. So needs 3 good lifts here. Look at the right leg.
You know, with the intel you gather, you should start a little side business of selling these goals to other teams as you collect all this information. He's going to squeeze it off the floor, accelerate at that point, get his body under, the right knee's going in. That's because he's trying to get himself under the bar. The bar's out front, no lift.
But that right foot was almost turning over there.
Absolutely.
So the problem is now, as I just said, they were looking to get at least 162. Now, they could put it up to 162 if they feel that he's got the strength. They don't have to go for 160, but maybe they're just already feeling a bit nervous. They know, really, that he's not going to be in there amongst the overall medals. He entered a total of 378. The top totals, the Iranian Rostami, 381. Akadov of Russia, 385. Also Liu Yong. Question about Liu Yong. There was a little murmur going around the warm-up room about his elbow.
Oh, interesting.
So interesting to watch the Olympic and world champion.
Yeah, the guy I think who probably has the highest posted total ever. I mean, of this group going in.
Well, Liu Yong and Akadov have both gone 385. So
he did 94 at the Olympics. 394. You know, putting this in perspective, we project he's going to clean and jerk in about the same range as Anakin. So to kind of give everybody a warm-up, you know, from the battle that's coming up down the road for the medal that the French are going to be watching.
And one thing that's been a factor, and also really good all the way through these championships, how the crowd have actually got in there to help a lifter when they get a difficult moment. And this is a difficult moment, and they're getting behind him, which is good. 20 seconds. Needs to make this. Now that is, sadly, that is a problem now. 160 in terms of his target, where he was hoping to go. If he hadn't got the extra 2 kilos, wouldn't have been too bad. But now he's dropped down to 155, Randy. Problem.
Yeah, they're probably really glad at this point, too, that they didn't go up, although maybe they could say, oh, we might as well put whatever we wanted on the bar. He wasn't going to lift it anyway. Not the way he wants to start off, but the clean jerk is his lift. He'll be back.
Yeah. So, out onto the stage, Ragab Abdelhai Saeed, 4th in the Junior Worlds this year. And he equals the kilos that he lifted in that World Junior Championship. So he's right on his personal best there with that second attempt. And he's also got a pretty good ratio.
Yeah, really good and low. Did you see that bow position on that lift? Well, guess who's coming out, I guess.
Generally, the Egyptian makes about 4 out of 6, which is not a bad percentage. Stand by for the man from Bordeaux, the European bronze medalist, Benjamin Hennequin.
You know, it's been an enthusiastic crowd all week, but I don't think they've made the floor vibrate till now.
But they need to calm a little bit. He needs to focus. He mustn't react to this. He's got to... This is the noisiest, biggest stage he's ever been on. 162 for Benjamin Hennequin's opener. Technically, absolutely perfect. And look at that.
Just the kind of start he'd want. Comes off the floor pretty quickly, actually, just sinks the putt on that, and he's ready to hit the most muscular pose when he's done.
Not easy when you know that you've got a stadium full of expectation. They've sold the tickets tonight of one man. So from Hennequin, who's 27, to Sully Ilian from Albania, who's 35. We haven't seen much of him the last time he was in the Beijing Olympic Games, but he did actually get a snatch silver medal in the World Championships in 2002 in Warsaw. He's had lots of time out because of hands.
You wonder, too, is he a lifter who has whistled back into service in the Albanians' effort to garner as many team points as they could? Yeah, comes off the floor, bounces, and not even close, really. Knocks that out front, not enough height either, probably.
Yeah, my worry for him is rustiness. It's really difficult. You know, he hasn't competed on a major championship stage, Randy, since Beijing, when he competed actually in the 77 kilos. When he got that silver medal back in 2002, he was actually in the 85s. But
what's very difficult, you know, someone like Matthias Steiner in the super heavyweight class, who's been ruled out now and hasn't been able to come here because he had an operation on, you know, tendons in his knee. You know, he is going to be so rusty, even if he gets back to, you know, good form, as you see Enekin just resting in there.
You know, age is a factor here too, I think. You know, we'd like to say, oh, it's just a number, but there's a biological clock ticking. He's 35, right? 35 is pretty old in the sport of weightlifting. It's, you know, this is a sport of blinding speed.
Nice guy. I really had a nice little chat with him and his coach just before we got underway. And, you know, the thing is that all the federations realize that this 85 kilo category is very open. So, you know, you shouldn't be intimidated by saying, oh, well, we won't bother to enter. Now, second attempt. Well done. Well repaired. 3 white lights coming his way. Yes, indeed. Wipes his brow with a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, I think he probably felt a lot of pressure on that. He's going to run after the bar a little bit to hang on to this left.
Yeah, but he gets underneath it and he stays underneath it, and he's on the 4-meter square platform, so no worries. Now, 163, the bar going up here. Remember that Andrei Rybakov best B group snatch, 178, still a long way from that. So this for 3 out of 3 for the Egyptian. Pity, that would have just moved him up to 3rd in the snatch rankings for a moment at least. So just moving forward here, and just to whet your appetite a little bit, could anybody get up to the 178 that Rybakov's got? Well, Liu Yong, the Olympic champions, posted 170 as his starter. So has Adrian Zielinski, the defending champion, and 167 for Apti Audakov. Those are the 3 guys, but we welcome to the stage for the first time now Yuri Chikita, 22 years of age for the Ukraine. Chikita, not particularly stellar last year in the World Championships, much better last year in Minsk in the Europeans. But as you might expect, tuned up for this.
Looks pretty awkward, doesn't he, with the bar overhead, shoulders hunched in.
Yeah, I think that often happens on the first one.
I think it's maybe the way he's built.
But he's also plenty aggressive, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Just doesn't look natural. I have tight shoulders, you know, maybe.
Let's wait for the second attempt, yeah, Mandy, because now in comes the first of the 2 Russians, the Universiad champion Rinat Kireyev from Ufa, in the big town of big city of about 1 million people in the middle of the Volga region. Now I'm fascinated where they've opened up here on 165.
Very nicely done. I'm pleased to see him do that. His approach really caught my eye, the way he walked up to the platform. I don't know if you watched that too, David. This guy just walked in like, here I am, I'm about to lift this. Just takes care of business, great concentration, nails this lift.
Now he's right on the mark here that he lifted in the University Championships on the way to that title, but perhaps more significantly, just recently, building up, and I mean in the last few weeks, he's actually lifted 175, the Russian.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's one of the men of the future, and that's why we're seeing him here tonight.
So Benjamin Enekin, 3 kilos the increase to 165. And And this will be the same contribution as he had when he took the bronze medal in Kazan earlier this year. He had a good series there. He made 5 out of 6. So he wants to get this. In fact, this 167 will be 2 kilos over. This is a personal best attempt. Big lift. And it's a big lift because he can bring his strength in the clean and jerk to play in his quest for a total medal, providing he stays in touch. And staying in touch depends on this.
Longtemps l'extension!
15 seconds just passed.
That was a nice lift.
The first one you should always get because it's one you've done a million times. The second one is also within a range that you have confidence of achieving. It's the third one where you really push yourself. And I think, to be honest, tonight he could do with another 3 kilos on the third attempt to go to 170 to give himself some sort of chance here. You know, he totaled, Randy, 373 in the Europeans. Now, if he got 170 here, and he actually then put on 205, 208, he'd be in with the shout Enikan. We now revert to the Albanian, Sully. Third attempt, 167.
I'd love to see him do it. I think there would have to be a lot of roadkill along the way, though, for him to end up in the podium on the total. And that might happen. Clean and jerk, if he ends up in the podium clean and jerk, that would be great.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if he could get the 170, Benjamin, that honestly gives him a much better chance with the clean and jerk, because he suddenly gets more margin, more possibility to play with his opener, his second attempt. They just get more options.
Yeah. I'm not going to give up hope that we see maybe a clean, snatch in the 180-ish range. Might not happen, but...
So, the second Russian, but this one making his first appearance, one of 6 children from just outside Chesney, or I should say, what's the capital of Chechnya? Gorshky, isn't it?
Boy, I don't know, you got me in that, David.
Junior world champion last season, silver medalist this season, Apti Arkadov. 168 kilos for his opener.
Whoa. I got to tell you, I think both Russians are looking really good, you know, their early efforts.
And he's opening up on a kilo over his predicted starting weight. It's actually Grozny, and he lives about 40 kilos away. Here we go. Have a look at this.
Squeezes off the floor, pounds under that, nails it. Good lift.
Feet don't move, Randy.
Yeah, just like his teammates. These guys are really on track tonight, you know, based on one attempt.
Now, one of Iran's big hopes for these championships. They've got plenty of medal hopes coming up over the last couple of days of the championships, but this is Kianush Rostami. He comes here as the reigning junior champion of the world at 85 kilos. He moved up since last year to this weight, comes from the west of his country, a place called Kermanshah, which is pretty close to the border with Iraq. Very steady in the bottom position, but completes well. New personal best, lift #1, Randy.
Yeah, I would say it's not quite as slick as the Russians. Watch this end. Well, I don't know, you know, just a little movement in the bottom position. Nice lift, though, really nice lift. This guy's a guy we're really going to have to keep our eye on tonight. He's someone who can really do damage, I think, as far as the medal hunt goes.
Yeah, he's putting a 381 total, which is only 4 kilos short of the likes of Arkadov and Liu Yong. So he's put himself in as a contender, very much in the region of gold, silver and bronze. And this is 22-year-old Gabriel Sinclayan of Romania. Interesting to see how much he has improved since last year when he finished in 7th place. So 169 kilos on the bar for him. Opening attempt. And he's also put the bar up 4 kilos from what he originally posted. So has warm-up gone well? We're about to find out. Down to 10 seconds left. Pretty good. They trust it right.
Excellent. Boy, what a nice left. Watch this, just nails it. It's going to look like it's an empty bar. He lifts it so easily. Boom. What a nice lift.
Well, this is progressing really nicely at the moment. Still the man from the B-boot, Rybakov, in the lead. So on to the stage comes the man who beat Andrei Rybakov of Belarus in the Olympic Games by body weight. Rybakov, who was forced to compete in the B group because preparation hasn't gone well, but he's put in a good snatch of 178, which still leads the way, and this is Lu Yong. Now, there was just a little rumor going around that he's had some elbow problems. 170 to open, to go into 2nd place. Very good, little adjustment with the feet there, but really good opener from Lu Yong. 25 years of age, the Olympic champion, the world champion in 2009 in Goyang. And certainly 173, 175 at his best, that's the sort of territory. And from the world champion of 2009 to the world champion of 2010. Adrian Zielinski from Poland. Big breakthrough last year when he won in Antalya. Imposing figure on the stage. Perhaps the most successful lifter for the Poles at the heavier classes, Szymon Kolecki, who did so well back in the days of Sydney and the Olympics when he got the silver medal. But this man, probably the brightest, I'm referring to Zielinski, since Szymon Kolecki at the heavier weights. And now Chikida from the Ukraine. Chikida looking to move up into 3rd place in the snatch. He's in 7th, and he stays 7th.
Another attempt at 170 kilos, the second one for Rinat Kireev from Russia.
Fortunately for Chikida, this weight is also wanted by Rinat Kireev. And Kireev taking a 5-kilo increase here. Good lift. And looks as if there can be more to come from him. Well, they're going for 170, which was the 3 kilos that I was suggesting that Benjamin Hennequin really needed to get. And This will take him up into the bronze medal position in the snatch phase. Enekin, weighed in at 84.69.
Bien fixé longtemps.
That is just what they wanted. A new personal best and 170 kilos, 3 out of 3, and the platform for the European bronze medalist representing France to move forward into the second half of the competition in his quest for an overall medal. Whips the bar, a couple of places forward, feet in line, confident and on fire. And disappointment there for Chiquita. Bar going to 172 kilos now. And Kirev of Russia coming out for 172 kilos.
There's a change, 173 kilos, please.
And the bar, in fact, going to 173 kilos for the other Russian. So it's going to be Apti Akadov for Russia, who comes out to take his second attempt. Now, Akadov is on 168, so this is a 5 kilo increase. Akadov, the Russian from Chechnya, capital Grozny, and he lives about 40 kilometers away in Guros Martin. They evacuated when the war was on and then came back, and they've actually set up a weightlifting club for kids. David Brigger, the head coach for the Russians, looking sternly on. 173 to go into silver medal position in the snatch. 15 seconds. And that bar just swung back behind him. That's an unexpected setback, I would say, for Apti. And this is sort of round about his best there, but you can see that the movement of the bar, just taking it behind, couldn't save that at all. The next man out is going to be the junior world champion from Iran, Rostami. And Rostami taking a 4 kilo increase to 173. This is new territory in what is a new class, really. Only moved up after last year's junior worlds. Time is okay. Settle. Focus. Really well done. And goes into overall silver. He's one of the more promising Iranians. This is new generation, only 20 years of age. So at the moment, Rybakov from the B group still leads with 178. The former world champion, but not in world championship condition, unfortunately, for the Belarus. Silver medal position at the moment, Rostami. Third, Adrian Zelinsky, the defending world champion, and this now, Rinat Kireev. This could be really interesting for the Russians. Really needs to make this to keep them up and in there. given that they said that he was lifting 175 just in the gym just the other day, they'll be disappointed with that. And it means that he stays in about 6th place, but this is all about kilos on the bar and staying within touch. So now a cut-off, 3rd attempt at 173 for him. Nobody's got to the man in the B group yet. And behind again. So now the Romanian Sinclayan. Now this could take him up in 175, could take him up into, in fact, Zielinski of Poland could take him up 174 kilos on the bar. But they've got to stop him because they've made a mess of this.
There's going to be a change, 174 kilos, please. Another athlete wants 174 kilos. His name is
So Adrian Zielinski, the world champion, wants 174 before we get to 175, so there's a bit of a mix-up there, and they had to pull Sinclayan off the stage, which is never great. So Zielinski now, 174, the world champion. This is a kilo more than he lifted in Antalya in this half of the competition a year ago. So this for silver medal position. He then had one attempt to try and get up to Rybakov's 178. Currently 3rd, looking to go 2nd. No problem. 4 kilo increase and executes really well. Have a look at this, really fluent and well connected, fast, feet really still, doesn't really have to adjust.
Deuxième essai, Rybakoff toujours en tête avec sa barre de 178 sur le plateau B.
So a bit of prowling here by Sinclayan of Romania. This is the man who's got hauled off the stage. And the loaders just cleaning the bar. 175 to go into 2nd place for this man. Well, he does have one more opportunity.
This time, a 2nd attempt for Liu Yong from China.
Well, all the time, the Olympic champion has been keeping his powder dry, waiting for his opportunity to come on and take his 2nd attempt. Liu Yong about to come onto the stage.
pour le champion olympique.
Lou taking a 5-kilo increase up into, at the moment he's in 5th place, looking to go into 2nd spot. Considerable achiever, Asian Games champion last season, Asian Champions champion this season, total 385, and he was putting 173 kilos towards each of those titles, but when he won in Goyang, he lifted this weight 2 years ago. Has one more go at it. Well, the lifts are running out, and Andrei Rybakov, he may not win the world title, and he may be well below par, but there's every chance he might take the gold medal. He looks very, very likely to take a medal, but there are some attempts out there. Rostami Kianush. And bodyweight may come into this. Rybakov 84.46. Now that is actually lighter than the Iranian. It's lighter than Sinkrayan, who's got to come in and take another one. It's lighter than Liu Yong, and it's actually lighter than Zielinski of Poland. So effectively, to get past Rybakov, they've actually got to lift 179 to actually get into the gold medal position. And you can see this is going to be Liu Yong at 175, so he's one contender who isn't going to go there. But all of these men have primarily their eyes on the major prize, which is the overall title. Fantastic atmosphere in the hall. It's been good all week. It's fantastic tonight. Great, terrific. And the crowd's favourite, Benjamin Hennigan, in 4th place after 3 good lifts out of 3. Actually, the only man to have done that so far. And Liu Yong didn't really get to grips with that, and 1 out of 3, sorry, not Liu Yong, Sinclair, only 1 out of 3, and that's... So Liu Yong indeed just 1 out of 3, and leaves him where he is at the moment, 5th place. So it's going to be very interesting to see the range at the halfway stage. We started with a 15-kilo range amongst all the competitors there on the right there. Hossan Rezazadeh, the former Olympic and multi-world champion and world record holder, still in the super heavyweight class. And rooting the president of the Iranian Weightlifting Federation for Rostami of Iran. 3rd and final attempt. Pity. But you need to perhaps put in context the fact that in the Junior Worlds this year he lifted 168 kilos. He's already done 5 kilos better than that, and it leaves him in overall bronze medal position at the moment. And Zielinski coming out now to go for 176. So the defending world champion. 40 seconds, locks on, arms almost out at the extremity of the bar. More than double body weight, this. Just over at least. And he stays in 2nd place. So only 1 more lift available. And it's the man who's currently in 7th place, Romania's Gabriel Sincraian, who has the opportunity to whiz himself up into silver medal position. If he doesn't make this, then he drops down to 169. He failed at 175. He's pushed the bar up to 176, bought himself a little bit more preparation time. It's not Zielinski. That was the wrong caption. This is Sincraian at 176. Big moment. Not on this occasion. And so the man who lifted in the B group, Rybakov, who you saw in our introduction, hopefully, the former world champion and Olympic silver medalist who unfortunately didn't have a great preparation, he wins the gold medal, and the silver medal goes to Adrian Zielinski of Poland, with the bronze to Iran's Kianush Rostami. And the halfway stage there sees a very, very close competition. The man in 2nd place has 174 kilos. The man in 5th place has 170, that's Liu Yong. Dr. Thomas Iron on the left of your picture there, the president of the International Weightlifting Federation. On his right, that was Jean-Paul Bourgaret-Dez, the president of the French Weightlifting Federation, hosting, of course, these championships in Paris. The countdown is on for the clean and jerk. Just over 9 minutes to go until the boys come out for the second and decisive phase of this competition. But it is all to play for, because Andrei Rybakov's clean and jerk was predictably not so strong. It was just 190, and plenty of men who could go over 200. But Rybakov from the B group, 178, wins the gold. Zielinski, the defending champion, 174. Then Rostami a kilo down. Look at this here, 174 you need to concentrate on, down to in the clean and jerk, not good enough. He's only got 190, so he will be surpassed. And immediately to start up the decisive clean and jerk session, it's Sully Ilbian of Albania, opening up on 193 kilos. Target for them with him tonight, well, it was 205, but they modified this way down. Well, that's a concern, the strength above his head on the jerk there, Randy. What do you think?
Yeah, jerks from his fingertips, not even close. You know what I'm thinking? They might have been hoping for a miracle, pulling him back into the lineup, and it's just not happening tonight. Magic's not working, and he knows. Look at this. He's like, you know, it's just not there. Coach is saying, you know, come on, lift it. Well, you know, it's heavy.
Russians need to make up quite a bit in this second half, but I wouldn't rule them out on the clean and jerk at all.
Yeah, I expected them to be hard charging, you know, through the snatches, and wheels came off the car pretty early for them.
Now, Sully's going to have to come out and take this again. Clean and jerk, more forgiving, Randy. I mean, 2 phases. The position of the hands and the arms when you lock on there, much more in line with the shoulders than the extremities when you go out for the snatch.
You have more latitude, I think, both for making corrections and for accommodating different body types. So you can adopt, you can sort of take your body, fit it to the lift much more than you can with the snatch. Plus, if things don't go perfectly when you're executing the lift, you got a couple more chances to make an adjustment that could save it. So yeah, we'll see more struggling as a result of that in the clean and jerk. Plus, the weights are heavier.
Do you personally, I mean, do you favor the conventional way of lifting, or, for example, the power jerk? What does the power jerk offer you if you know, if you can achieve it?
Well, if guys have really strong legs, the real question probably gave would be squat jerk versus split jerk, and I'll be happy to get into that in just a sec. Tried to jerk from his fingertips. Power jerk is quarter squat, basically. Full squat jerk. Full squat jerk is what I think where the sport might end up one of these days, because if you can do it, if you are perfect, it is more efficient, I think, than a split jerk, because you can get lower. Once upon a time, people split instead of squat to do snatches and cleans.
Yeah, splitting sideways as opposed to doing the split with one leg behind.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, to snatch and to clean.
Yeah.
People use a split style. But competition was such that, you know, only the people who were built in a way that they could squat would rise to the top. You can lift more weight, ideally, in that position. You will not find a world-class split lifter anymore. I think that might happen one day in the jerk also, Dave. And the Asians are going to be way ahead of the Europeans on that.
Now, there are only 2 men in the whole of this class who actually have entered a opening attempt weight of less than 200 kilos. So just to bring you into Rostami of Iran, 209. That's a hefty opening weight there, and it's right at the top. So that just gives you an idea of where he's trying to go to tonight. He's trying to give Iran their first gold medal of these championships. And then if I look at Benjamin Inakau, 200, the 2 Russians, Akadov at 202, Lu Yong, the Chinese Olympic champion and world champion, 205, and Kireev, the other Russian, at 202, and Hernandez of Cuba, who's much better at the clean and jerk, 204. He'll be looking for 204 clean and jerk honors. Now, come on. This to give yourself a token. Fight! Come on! Well done. Now, has he got the 3 whites? Yes, he has.
I'll tell you, he surprised me. I'm happy he made that. I wouldn't have bet on it.
I'm absolutely delighted for him because, you know, as you said, age of 35, he's in the twilight of his career, absolutely. And, you know, he's going to get a position which is going to have a few points for his nation, Albania, to try and send men to the Olympic Games. So he may seem to all of you at home to have got a modest total, and it may look, you know, that he's only actually made 2 lifts out of 6, but he's made his contribution. I wouldn't say that normally about everybody, but because he's been off the stage, because he's been out of training for such a long time, hand operations, I think actually he deserves that applause that he got. Now, onto the Egyptian. Ragab Abdel Hai Saeed, bar at 195. Well, already with that attempt, looks much more at home with the clean and jerk than he did with the snatch phase. He started the second half down in 14th place, only brought 161 kilos forward.
Nice punch on his jerk. Gibbs gets under there. Very wide hand spacing, very wide foot spacing when he racked the bar, too, on the clean. Solid lift.
Yeah, you know, that's a 356, and that is 3 kilos up on last year when he finished 12th in the World Championship, so already better. Yuri Chikida, Ukraine. Things did not go his way either in the first half, coming on 195 as well.
Well, there's the squat jerk that we were talking about, and that's the catch. It is very precarious. It makes a squat snatch look rock solid.
Now, he was down in 9th place again. Quite a few who only made 1 out of 3.
Okay, watch now. Jip. He's going to straighten the legs out and squat underneath it, and you can see he loses the bar behind. You can get a sense of how delicate the balance is in that.
Of course, all of the young men and the women that you see here started at an early age, and it was at an age when they didn't even realize how stupid it was to put themselves under a bar.
Mean parents and coaches.
Yeah, well, it's like you could say another analogy would be ski jumpers, you know, going off, you know, get a kid of 10 and 11 going off a 60-meter ski jump.
I never thought about that. So are they doing that?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
They start.
Yeah.
No way.
But you know, when you're young and you know, you don't think about danger, do you?
Yeah.
And then it's only when you start getting into your sort of early teenage years that it dawns on you that you might get hurt.
I'm just curious, how many firstborns are ski jumpers? Or how many ski jumpers are firstborns is the right way to ask it.
That's a bizarre question. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So Chiquita coming out for 195. But you know, the truth is that, you know, if you suffer fear factor getting under the bar, that's probably the worst thing you could have in weightlifting.
Well, I think not being around for fast-twitch muscle fibers could be even worse.
Stop. Не спеши. Стоять!
Well, you asked about a power jerk, Tino. That was sort of more in the range of a power jerk. He didn't want to risk going in the full squat jerk. Almost got it, but yeah, close doesn't count.
But you'll see where the hips go behind, and then he starts walking, and he can't actually make this. You won't see that so well from this front shot. From the side, it will. Ah, that's better. Now look.
Try to chase it, heel. Yeah, it just doesn't have the stability. Well, I mean, try it at home yourself. You know, get a pretty heavy weight for yourself overhead and try to walk around with it with your legs bent.
Yeah, you're always trying to get people to go out in the kitchen with a broom.
Yeah. Well, to try these lifts. By the way, I heard this morning that a member of the jury went up and said that there were marks on the edge of the platform matching where the plates would have hit if when Boba Badova dropped that bar, it actually had nicked the edge of the platform.
So Chiquita getting the auditorium support here because they know that if he doesn't get this, he's in exactly the same stage that Sully Ulian of Albania was in just a few moments ago, that he's in danger of not getting his total, and nobody wants to make the journey home without a total.
They helped Bill in, maybe they'll do it again.
Missed out on the European medals last season, was down in 13th place. This is 3 kilos more that he's attempting now than he achieved last year in the World Championships in Turkey. But this is pressure. And the one thing when the pressure's on, you've got to avoid tightening up. Okay. Just keep it together. Well done. Third time of asking, he saves his day. And again, the same point Randy applies. If he'd got nothing, he could get no points for the Ukraine in their quest for Olympic places for London 2012.
This has everything going for it that the first two attempts did not. Piston-like jerk here. Boom. Confidence and competence combined.
For the first attempt of
And a crescendo building in the hall now for you-know-who. The man, well, actually, they've had to subside because Enekin, who posted 200, and has actually put the bar up to 202. Is that prudent? He's left the world champion, Zielinski, to come in to open his attempt. By the way, just to mention to all of you at home, from time to time, Randy and myself talk about, you know, earning points for the Olympic Games in London 2012. And you may wonder why we don't actually get into the minutiae of it and explain how many places that would actually earn and whether that lifter would go. Well, actually, we'd need probably half the scientific base from Silicon Valley in California to explain how this system works.
And 2 hours of time.
Exactly.
And you would be asleep probably.
Yeah,
you the fans.
So that's the reason we don't go there. However, that said, if you do go onto the website of the International Weightlifting Championship, International Weightlifting Federation, after these championships, you will find out who has got what. So, second attempt, 200 kilos for the Egyptian, 5 kilo increase, reasonable at these bodyweight categories. This is for 361. Oh, come on. Oh,
look at that.
Really gutsy.
Yeah.
Saved it. Saved it.
I'm the man. I'm the man. He knows he got a little help. Great left.
Good boy. And you know, he keeps his average. That gives him 4 out of 6. He's had 4 out of 6 in the last 3 major championships. He's got it today, and he's set already a new mark for himself.
And watch now. Well, we don't see the feet and the lower body, but it's nice when there's a bit of struggle in weightlifting. Sometimes it happens so fast, it's either in or out, and he had to work to save that.
361 is into overall second, and clean and jerk bronze, the Egyptian at the moment, but a long way to go. And now Gabriel Sinclayan of Romania. Had 2 goes, 175, 176, didn't get either of those, which left him down in 7th place at the halfway stage. And in the under-23 championships last year, this is where he ran into trouble, in the clean and jerk. Didn't get any of them in that competition. That looked much better. Yeah, that is definitely an improvement. The clean was relatively easy. He was economical. He was only using a fraction of energy, keeping some reserves in the tank for the next 2 attempts.
Right, it's the jerk, I think, that I was ready to watch really closely, and it didn't seem to have the confidence that, that the clean has. It'd be really interesting to see if he pulls out 2 more good lifts. He's not so rock steady and so strong overhead.
But he's got into the overall lead and silver medal in the...
he's on the board.
Silver medal in the clean and jerk positions. Just at this particular moment in time, Andrei Rybakov, the man who's won the Snatch gold medal, the former world champion, actually still in 2nd place overall, but not for long, I don't think. Now, Apti Akadov. Now, David Riggott, the head coach, will have had some words with the Russians at the halfway stage because they've left themselves a bit of catching up to do. This man's only in 8th place. But this is a man who can certainly do 206 and maybe a bit more. Well, he may be strong overhead, but he's got to do the clean a hell of a lot better than that.
Yeah, there's a strong jerk and a guy who is very solid overhead.
Yeah, but the first half of the discipline was...
Take a look. Yeah, he got rocked back. I don't think that was a lack of strength. That was just a technique thing. He had a little breakdown, technically, knocked him backwards. Let's see if he comes back with a really strong clean in the 2nd attempt. He sort of looked at the bar with contempt when he was done with that.
The world champion opening up on 202 kilos in front of a house who, by and large, paid 20 euros a piece for their seats today in here, which is a great achievement for the host federation and for weightlifting in general. More often than not, it's given away free, but here, value. I think a sensible starter there for Adrian Zielinski. He actually lifted up 210 last year when he took the world title with 383 and 5 out of 6 lifts. Just looks slightly under that form at the moment, Randy. Don't know what you think.
Yeah, you know, I think we're seeing a pattern of pretty conservative openers, actually, though. I think guys are getting nervous after the snatches. I mean, because the snatches, it didn't tally really. It looked like only about 1/3 of the attempts were successful in the second and third attempts. 1/3 of the left. Well, you know what's happening now.
Well, this is the appearance of Benjamin Hennequin. And I hope they built the seats safely around us and underneath us. 203 kilos. Now that is confidence. That is 3 kilos up on his proposed original opening clean and jerk weight. This is for 4 out of 4. If he gets it, it puts him up into silver medal in the clean and jerk and silver medal position in the total, the overall championship. Vital that he gets this. Job done. Again, the confidence you gain by getting that first attempt in, securing the turtle, keeping the options open. He's happy, the coaches are happy, the crowd have this belief that it could be a French gold medal.
Gold, gosh, we've gone from medal to gold medal now. Holy cow.
Well, the last Frenchman to win a gold medal was Wenceslas Dabayer in 2006 in Santo Domingo.
Yeah. Well, he brought his game up a notch in Kazan, right? He impressed us. And look, based on his snatching and based on what he did for his opener, with his opener here in the clean and jerk, I wonder if Benjamin Hennequin has just improved things a bit.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that there's been a big movement forward in the last 12 months because the 373 has now equals what he did in Kazan. But the difference is he's still got 2 attempts to go further.
Here's the scary thing. London's coming up. This guy's trajectory is going in the right direction.
Absolutely. And now back to the Egyptian. This is his last attempt. He's put 3 more kilos on the bar. He's looking for a total of 364. We'll put him up into silver medal in the clean and jerk and would be new best results. Big question for him. Slides the arms out. Oh, has he saved it a second time? He has.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as dramatic, right? But he's happy. You know, if the crowd helped him, he's grateful to the crowd. The crowd appreciated his effort. Mutual respect.
Well, you know, there's plenty of respect because he's done 161, which has equaled his personal best in the snatch. He's now produced 203, which takes him into the 200s for the first time in the championship, and he's given himself a total of 364, which I have to tell you, Randy, is 12 kilos up on what he produced in the Junior Worlds this year when he just missed a medal. It's not about medals for him tonight, the Egyptian, but what it is that he's actually nailed his targets. Russia, 204 for Kireev.
Looked pretty easy.
Well, this is where they've got to come on because, for example, Kireev starts the second half 4 kilos behind Zielinski. Zielinski's the current leader with 376 on the board. So this is Kireev now really trying to catch up. He's gone into second place, 374. This has brought him within 2 kilos of the defending world champion. Well, everybody thought that Hennequin was going to come out for 204. No. We didn't.
No.
Liu Yong coming out for his opener at 205 kilos.
Here's a guy who's got to change the course of his ship. I mean, he'd had really quite a disastrous performance in the snatch, didn't you think? I mean, one good attempt, not even really that close on the second 2. He's got to do something big here in the clean and jerk.
However, the way the card's decked out here, it comes in only 4 kilos off the leader at the halfway stage. So in his mind, his coaches will have been saying, hey, Lou, nothing is lost yet. And 205 kilos is again going to put him up into second place in the clean and jerk, second place in the total. But more importantly, it's going to put him in the mix. Lou, who's now 25 years of age, one of 3 lifters who entered 285 as a total. That might be a bit too much given the poor performance or the lower performance in the snatch.
Well, I don't think he's on track tonight, David. This is a guy coming in. I would have said, watch for him.
I did say right at the beginning of the competition they had an elbow concern.
You absolutely did, and you know what? There's something wrong with him. He's not running on a full tank of gas. He's missing everything.
It's interesting. I was talking to the Chinese television team here, who ask me every day whether their cameraman can go into the warm-up room to do some close-ups. And interestingly enough, do you know what they said tonight? Not necessary. So they knew.
Yeah.
Now, here's a man going for clean and jerk honors. This is the Pan American Games champion. He's too far back with only 155 to do anything in terms of the total. But his objective is to walk out of this hall with a clean and jerk medal. 205, this is right on the money for him. That's what he lifted in the Pan Americans. That's what he lifted in the World Championships in Goyak.
Just take care of business, he says.
It'd be really good news for the Cuban to perhaps get a medal for his country.
What do you think about this, David? I mean, I thought the clean looked hard for him, and the jerk, I mean, he just shot it over his head.
The worst thing that can ever happen to you, whatever sport you are, is to have uncertainty. And if you don't feel that your body is sound, then actually what happens is that your mind isn't sound either, because it's that creeping uncertainty. So.
Oh, it's even harder than the first attempt. Well, you can see how he lifts, because this is basically a repeat, only tougher repeat of his first attempt. Same struggle to stand up, and then it's going to punch this thing overhead, lose it behind, and I don't know. His goose is cooked, I think.
And Liu Yong's tank of gas, well, it's hovering around that emergency red light at the moment. You know, the one where you have 40 kilometers to go and a realization that
you
ain't got enough petrol.
Yeah, you're hoping for a downhill stretch.
Yeah.
This is the guy I think is going to be the surprise tonight, one of the big surprises.
Well, remember the big lift that's posted as a first attempt is from the Iranian.
And we just saw it. Yeah. He's off to a flying start. Unfortunately, Liu Yong looks like he's destined to be a surprise in the other direction. I think with this crowd behind him, maybe he can pull this out of the hat. The crowd here is fantastic. Can't praise them enough for their support. And they've been impartial. It doesn't matter what country the lifter's from, especially when he needs them, they are there cheering him on.
Yeah, level of sportsmanship's been really good. Well, this would get him up into the medals, but it is his last attempt, and then his destiny's totally in the hands of others, but it would actually get him into third place in the clean and jerk. It would get him to second overall, but his chances of holding on to those pretty minuscule. And this is not the Liu Yong that won the Olympic Games with, what was it, 394 and the 383 that he picked up the following year in Goyang. This is a very different Liu Yong.
Yeah. Better clean than the last attempt, at least. No. Really too bad. He is the guy coming in with the highest total in terms of what he's lifted in the past. And you know what? The magic just wasn't there tonight.
Well, Zielinski actually is going to come in at 207, so we have to wait a little longer for the Iranian to take his first attempt. And Zielinski currently in the overall lead. He's down in 7th place in the clean and jerk, but if he does this at 207, it will put him up into first place in the clean and jerk rankings as well. And there's a change now at the bar going to 208.
208 kilos. A second attempt for Abdi.
Well, this is where we enter the casino phase of weightlifting. Imagine yourself with the coaches sitting around a poker table with piles of chips and deciding when to play, when to push them all into the middle of the table. This is Arkadov coming in for 208. And this is to go into the overall lead for Russia. The man from Chechnya, coached by his father, Khamzat, who was never an international weightlifter, but was better known actually for coaching more than competing. I think it was powerlifting that he was in as a competitor. Good clean. But you can see that bar was never really over his head. He was way out the back, and that's not a good result there to lose a second attempt like that. For French fans, the Frenchman Hennequin has gone to 208 for his second attempt. He really is going after this at the moment.
Just a few seconds for that process.
And there's nothing that Hennequin could do about the likes of Liu Yong, who clearly was in trouble this evening, or Rybakov. He can only beat the men who are there, and those sort of failures really help his cause.
Wysoko łokcie. Jedzie! Pionie zejście, mocno wybij!
Oh, and the world champion. In trouble. So Zielinski stays in the lead, but now Benjamin Hennequin for France. Second attempt, 208 kilos, 5 kilos up. He has 373. He's going for 378 to take the lead in the clean and jerk and also the overall championship.
Fixez la hauteur!
The clean. Big effort required. And another personal best for the Frenchman from Bordeaux. The new leader. Well, could this really be the dream night? This would be the total icing on the cake for the French. And this is all on merit. And Hennequin with real positivity. Have a look at this. Cleans, drives up, does that very well, very economically, using minimum energy, then very strong overhead. Waits for the down signal, completes the job. Hennequin, France, leads. Zielinski now comes out for his third attempt. Now, Zielinski, this is a 6 kilo increase, so this will take him from 376 up to 382. So this will put him back in the overall lead if he can do it. And he can't. The world title is lost. And Zielinski, the champion in Antalya last year, knows that there'll be another name now on the Roll of Honor. And sadly for the Polish fans, it will not be his. But this is far from over, because into the arena now comes the Iranian, this 20-year-old terrific prospect, Kianush Rostami, the junior world champion last year, the junior world champion at 77 kilos last year, the junior world champion at 85 kilos this year, with Asian Championship medals also this year, when he totaled up 363. Now this is his first attempt, and this is going to take him straight into the lead if he does it. He's going for 209 kilos, just showing his arms there to the referees and jury. Lifted 210 kilos in winning the Junior Worlds this year. So this opening attempt is a weight that he has done. It would push Hennequin down to second place and Zielinski to third. Very deep split, but he's bringing that left leg forward, rotates a little bit, but I think in overall, 3 white lights and Iran take the lead. So 382 is his total. Hennequin has 378. The Iranian, in terms of body weight, 84.53. Hennequin 84.69. So the Iranian has that advantage, but now the Russians to try and close up. 5 kilo increase. This is to take Kireev of Russia up to 379. Second of 3 attempts. Good clean. Doesn't, oh, try to catch it on the bounce there, it didn't work. And suddenly his aspirations are severely limited. And Hennequin had 209 kilos, he's gone to 210. Now at the moment, Rostami's got 382. This is where Hennequin has to be realistic. Has he any chance of getting 4 kilos? It would be a huge, massive increase when you consider that Hennequin, the Europeans, was doing 208. To go 210 in the condition he's in, which is obviously very well prepared, would be logical and would seem to be possible. But could he do 412? He'd actually have to do 213 at this particular moment to get ahead of the lighter Iranian. Now that may just be, I think, a bit too much to ask. Still one or two others out there with aspirations, not least of all Sinclayan of Romania, who's posted 2:10 for his second attempt. Hernandez of Cuba, who's posted 2:10 for his second attempt. He's after clean and jerk honours, and so is Sinclayan of Romania. So there are quite a few different game plans out there. Currently in the lead, Rostami with 3:82, Enekan with 3:78, Zielinski, who's finished on 3:76, clinging on to a bronze medal. But just behind him, Kireev of Russia. Kireev looking for a 5 kilo increase, which will take him ahead of Zielinski and push the defending world champion out of the overall podium. Zielinski, who got a silver medal in the first half of the competition in the snatch, but that's all he's likely to go home with as it stands. So Kireev, or Kireev I should say. Well, that was the third attempt, and that's another danger gone to both the likes of Enekan and also to Zielinski, who stays in with a chance of an overall medal at the moment. Going to 210 kilos now for Sinclayan of Romania, taking this second attempt now. Now this would take him up into first place in the clean and jerk and second place in the total. He was only 7th at the halfway stage, but 169 kilos, he was very close to the man who was in second place, who had 174 kilos. So that was Zielinski. So that's why this is so nip and tuck. This is a big lift increase. This is 9 kilos up to take him to 379 to whiz him from 6th into second place. He has one more attempt.
Vamos que te la prueba. Primero el clean. Seguro el clean primero. Concéntrate en el clean.
Vamos, 20 seconds for the Cuban. This is for the gold medal position in the clean and jerk, and it would only move him up to 8th in the total, but that's not the concern. Struggles a little bit. And not the strength of it. He's got one more go. So Hernandez of Cuba has got one more go at getting into the clean and jerk medal positions. Rostami, with 2 attempts left, leads the competition. Sinclayan's got 1 left, but he's not going to catch the leader. But if he went 379, he would get ahead of Enekan, and this is Akadov with his last attempt. An 8 kilo increase. This has taken him to 378. Now, the significance of Akadov's attempt here Akadov, who weighed in at 84.36, is lighter than Hennequin. If he makes this, he pushes himself ahead of Hennequin, who drops down to 3rd in the overall. Quite deep. Very deep split, and he can't do it, and another man falls by the wayside. And the French choir it's more like the Stade de France than the Disneyland Dome in here, and he's coming out for 2:10. And the way it looks on the scoreboard now, this absolutely secures an overall medal. At the moment, he's in overall silver. He's in clean and jerk silver. And this would keep him in 2nd place overall, but it would put him into the gold medal position in the clean and jerk.
Extension!
10 seconds. And he stand up. Remember, this is new territory on a competition stage. Last. 5 lifts out of 6 he has made. 378, a new total. He acknowledges the support he's received from the crowd. Disappointed that he couldn't finish it off. But they know that he has given his all, and he sits in overall silver medal position and clean and jerk silver medal position. The performance of his life on his home stage here in Disneyland outside Paris, and now Sinclayan for the last time. Now Sinclayan going for 210, this 9-kilo increase, which would push Hennequin down into 3rd place overall, and would also give Sinclayan of Romania would put him into the gold medal in the clean and jerk. This man who failed to total last season in the under-23s, what a turnaround. He was only 7th in the World Championships with a total of 366 last year. 22 years of age, and didn't quite catch that perfectly, but he's okay. No. And you'd have to forgive the French crowd. They're cheering for Hennequin. So, here goes the last attempt for Yolemis Hernandez, all the way from Cuba, all the way from Havana. If he does this, he puts himself into the gold medal position in the clean and jerk. This is what he's been in, or what he's had his eye on all day, and in the weeks building up to these championships. Clean is on his shoulders. Oh, come on, hold it. Oh dear. How close was that? So a bronze medal is all he can have. It's a good medal, but it's not the medal that he was so close to getting there. recent Games champion. So now there is just one man left in this. He has won the title. He is 20 years of age. His name is Kianush Rostami, the junior world champion. Has put 219 kilos on the board. He is attempting to win a new clean and jerk world record. It's one of the oldest records in the book. It belongs at this moment to Zhang Zhong of China. 218 kilos, set back in 1998 in Ramat Gan, Israel. He has 2 attempts. He is the champion with 382 kilos. He's won the title. Really good athletic clean. This for the world record. He has another attempt. The champion has one more go. So just to confirm at the moment, as he prepares, he has 2 minutes in which to have another go. Rostami, Kianush Rostami of Iran has taken the gold medal in this, the men's 85 kilos. Benjamin Hennequin of France has the overall silver and clean and jerk silver. In overall bronze medal position, Adrian Zielinski, the champion of last year. And the crowd will get behind Rostami here. The last lift of the competition. And he's only 20 years of age, so this is both, of course, a junior and a senior world record in the clean and jerk. 13 years this record has stood. This is 9 kilos more than he lifted in the junior worlds. This, a young man who moved up from success at 77 kilos after last year's junior world championships in the spring. And here we are 18 months later. He's champion of the world at 85 kilos, bidding for this record. 25 seconds. Locks on. Very deep on the clean, he can't do it. He had a great second attempt at it, but the energy, the gas, it ran out. But you're looking at the champion of the world, and he's won this with 3 out of 6, but 2 of those lifts, of course, were attempts at the world record. So, something a little unusual here. Benjamin Hennequin, not exactly protocol, but coming out to say a special thank you and appreciation to friends and fans who travelled the length and breadth of France to come here. And the best night for French weightlifting since Venceslas Dabaya won the world title in 2006 in Santo Domingo. That was a long way away. Dabaya, who won the European title in Strasbourg in 2007, but this is the man of the moment for France. He is their #1 lifter, and if anybody's going to get a medal at the Olympic Games, it is going to be Benjamin Hennequin. Lifted to the max, made 5 out of 6, Hennequin. You cannot complain, and there is the result of the clean and jerk there. Rostami takes the clean and jerk with 2:09, his first attempt. 2 attempts at the world record, those didn't come off. Hennequin 2:03, new mark. 2:08, even better new mark. Hernandez there from Cuba with 2:05, getting the bronze medal. And at the bottom of that page you can see Liu Yong, the former world and Olympic champion, just simply not his day today. But that's not a typical performance by him. And the podium's being readied now for the medal presentations. We'll have the overall confirmation of results for you momentarily. First gold medal to Iran at these championships, and maybe not the last. They have 2 great super heavyweights. They have contenders tomorrow as well. And here come the overall 3:82. Then Benjamin Hennequin takes the overall silver. Last year's champion is in bronze medal position. Russia 4th and 5th, too many misses. And then Sincryan of Romania, who was playing high-stakes poker, and Rybakov of Belarus, not in great condition, but getting the gold medal in the snatch and finishing 7th overall with 3:68. Another former world champion. Top 10 for the Egyptian, that's very decent. Hernandez, who got that consolation bronze medal, also in the top 10. Well, Randy Strossen back with